Hey Collective, welcome. I wanted to jump in and make a quick video about the upcoming full moon in Scorpio, or flower full moon coming up here around May 1st, 2026. I'm using tarot, the Jing, and an oracle card. There seems to be a bit of lingering energy from last month where we talked about retreat and constriction. The tarot card I pulled reminds us of this, it being the Four of Pentacles upright. This is a challenging card because while the suit of pentacles speaks of matters of the earth, such as money and finance, there is always a possibility that pulling a pentacle card is a warning sign to be aware that we are too focused on the material. This is especially true of the Four of Pentacles, a card referred to as the miser of the deck frequently. The typical image of being one of a man holding his 4 coins as close to his body as possible. He's also alone on a plateau, another indicator of being removed from the flow of life and having a limiting relationship to money. I think we're all perceiving a tension in the air, whether it be economically, politically, spiritually, whatever. Astrologically, there is a ton of Mars and actually an unusual alignment of planets clustered in a matter of degrees apart from each other that seems unnervingly forceful. One of my favorite readers here on YouTube, Carrie from Scorched Earth Tarot, called her series of readings for this time period, quote-unquote, crossing the Rubicon. The implication is that this conjunction is forcing a change of events, a chain of events that will shape our reality forever. Naturally, the instinctive reaction during tumultuous times is to hunker down. An interesting thing about the first I Ching hexagram I drew, number 36 Clouded Perception, is that there's also a wisdom in laying low when the situation is uncertain. The hexagram is taken from Chinese history, where during a time a cruel tyrant was in power, and the only thing the leader of a rival faction could do in prison was feign insanity in order to stay alive until the time was right for revolution. The changing lines throughout the hexagram reflect different stages in the event, and the last line is about overthrowing the evil because light inevitably overcomes darkness, at least once throughout the cycle. But here we are only at the first line. Caution and restraint is again recommended because we don't have clarity or confidence at this time. However, the hexagram changes to the number 15, temperance, or modesty, which is very good luck. It's not flashy or exciting though. It echoes the sentiment of keeping your head down and minding your business, but there is the sense that there is a return to balance and harmony. Externally, those of like mind are recognizing one another, and the previous spell of illusion has begun to break down. I think people will be more and more frequently opting out of engaging with fear-inducing content and looking more towards slow living, community building, and less consumption. It will not be an overnight cultural shift, but I think that we are currently living in the moment the thunderstorm is most charged and the air feels the most dense and oppressive. We've been waiting with bated breath for the other shoe to drop at any second for a long time. I think there's something in the collective currently breaking down that paradigm right now. Most of us don't have the platform to call out injustices and lies, but more and more are gaining the traction and those voices are being heard more and more frequently. Finally, I pulled the oracle card Winter. Such a contrast to the season we're in, which is in fact spring. I take this to mean that we should still consider ourselves in transition from the barren wasteland that is winter to the blooming of spring, spiritually. Things are still frostbound and slowly waking up. It's wise to prepare for a potential cold snap, of course, by holding back and slowly taking off the layers of our fur pelts as the ice melts. But we remember that no single season lasts forever, no matter how long we've felt in its grips. Okay, that's what I got for you. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again. Take care.